it felt to be on stage.
An exaltation, an intoxication. I thought the stage itself would burn.
Today on Arts 24, Angelina Jolie learns to sing opera for her part as Maria Callas in Paris.
As soon as I got very emotional, my throat closed because you can't cry and sing at the same time. So I got a bunch of hot water bottles and I was kind of walking around to try to like...
The biopic looks at the final days in the life of one of the most iconic and controversial figures in opera. With her soaring voice and dramatic stage presence, the Greek star redefined what it meant to be a diva, captivating audiences worldwide. Maria is directed by Chilean filmmaker Pablo Larraín, the final part of his Great Women trilogy following Jackie and Spencer.
My life is opera. There is no reason in opera.
Pablo, congratulations on the film.
Thank you, please.
Maria Callas has been the subject of countless biographies, documentaries. There was even a hologram tour at one point. And no opera singer has really captivated the world like she did. Why is it that people are still so fascinated by her, and what made you want to make a film about her?
The main reason is probably because we think we know a lot about her, but we don't. You know, it's one of that very particular humans that were very on the spot for many years. And all these biographies and documentaries and even a movie are trying to understand something that we don't. I think it's likely to be one of the most mysterious figures and someone that communicated very little through words and a lot through music, through opera. Someone that changed the history of opera. But to me, the explanation is there. It's like we're trying to understand someone that didn't want it to be understood.
And so what made you want to focus on this last week of her life in Paris in 1977?
Well, first of all, because I don't believe in the idea of a biopic. I don't think you can actually capture someone's life on a movie. What you can do is to maybe, create some sort of metaphoric version of that person. And we thought that the last week of her life was a beautiful moment when she somehow decides to end her life in a way that is a celebration.
I don't think I would have agreed to do it with a different director.
I think for us, the level of respect that we should have would probably bring the right respect to the character and to Maria, the real Maria.
So I knew he would guide and protect her and the music, as well as help me.
Tell us about this choice then of Angelina Jolie as Maria.
Well, I think it's very related to the first question. I read nearly 10 biographies. I've seen every documentary, and I've been listening to her music for over 40 years. And I still don't know, even after making this movie, who she really was. And I think it's something that she carried, that an enormous amount of mystery and enigma. And I think Angelina has that, and can play that as an actress too. That idea of this unknown diva, this idea of someone that is very hard to capture, very hard to understand. Even if we try to, it's something that Angelina can portray.
Je ne peux pas dire que je m'aime, même dans la vie de tous les jours. Mais je ne peux pas, et ça ne me regarde pas, que je m'aime. Ce que c'est que j'espère que le public va aimer et va comprendre mon interprétation. Ça, c'est le nécessaire.
Tell us about how it worked then for the singing, of course, because you blended the two voices, Angelina's and Maria Callas's.
Unlike pop music or rock music or folk music, whatever you name it, I don't think an actor or an actress in this case can actually cheat it, you know, can actually pretend that she's singing. This is something where she really had to sing in front of us. And she trained very hard for, 7 months.
It was more than I thought it would be. I think I didn't understand there's what it takes to sing opera. I was very nervous to realize I had to really learn to sing and sing in front of people.
This is scary. It's a little scary.
It was very daunting, and I was very nervous to not be good enough for her. My children also had to listen to Mom learning to sing opera, so they also had to be there in the beginning when it wasn't going so well and hear me, loud across the house. But yeah, they all now are very familiar with opera and Maria.
And it was not only for the purpose of making it more believable, but also because it was the best way to Angelina to prepare for the role. Her posture, her breathing, her speaking voice, the way she would walk, is all affected by the opera training as a singer.
One of the things that I really loved is these unexpected opera moments in Paris, like when they're performing at Trocadero or just in the streets of Paris. Tell us about these creative choices and why you brought opera outside like that.
We wanted to shoot an opera, to have the audience obviously seeing a film, but a film that it's inspired by opera in all levels and in every second of it. And we wanted to inhabit her perception of reality. So yeah, there's scenes where she's walking on the street and eventually the people that is on the street becomes a choir, or she's walking on the street and then she sees an orchestra under the rain. I think it's a movie that is fragmented.
This is the part of the film where you're expected to sing, Maria. So fucking sing. Maria Callas is expected to sing. No excuses. No diva imagined sickness. Not like Rome, not like Covent Garden, not like New York. Fucking sing.
I will sing when I am ready to sing.
And this is really the culmination of your unofficial trilogy about great 20th century women following Jackie and Spencer. How are the three linked?
There are elements in common, for sure. I think they were, women that were under the scrutiny of media. And they were related to very known families, very powerful families. It was the royal family, the Kennedys, Onassis. But in the three cases, they were women that were able to find their own identity, be who they were, not caring who they were next to. And they were stronger than that relationship. They were who they were, and they were able to create an enormous amount of empathy around the world because they were all had to have their own voice.
There have been some other recent classical music films, Tar and Maestro. They have had a bit of a backlash from classical music buffs. Were you concerned about opera enthusiasts and how they were going to react to the film?
I am and I'm not. I mean, you don't want to be paralyzed by what experts can think. But at the same time, I do want the blessing, of course.
Have you had that? Have you had some reaction?
I had, yeah, and very positive so far. We showed the movie at the Met. Some singers have written to me. I've shown to conductors and people that is there. I really hope we did it right. I worked very hard for years to get it as best possible. Angelina trains herself. We work with singers, with orchestrations, with orchestra, with conductors. But in any case, I think that it's very positive for the classical music community that these films are existing because they are more and more visible. And I hope these movies are helping to do that. And I'm sure they will, because they make, in this case, Maria Callas' music would be more listened after this film. I don't know if it's a little more, I don't know if it's one person or a million or more, I have no idea. Time will define that. And I think it's a movie that really respects the work and the duty they do, and so I hope they will agree with me, but we'll see. I don't have the answer.
And Maria Callas, she performed many tragic roles. Do you think she saw herself in the characters that she portrayed?
I think so. I think at some point of her life, she probably felt that her own life was becoming a tragedy. And I think she saw it as something that could have been a celebration. I don't think this is like a dark, obscure take on that tragedy. I think it's someone that decides to do something for herself. It's someone that has dedicated her entire life to sing for others, taking care of her fans and her audience, taking care of, I don't know, a relationship with a man, taking care of her family eventually, her friends. And now in this film, we see a Maria Callas that has decided to take back her own life and sing for the last time, but this time she's going to sing for herself.
Okay, Pablo, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My mother made me sing. Onassis forbade me to sing. And now I will sing for myself. Now, finally, I am in control of the end.